What is up? What is going on, everybody? Um, yeah, it's Tuesday again, so we're back. I kind of taken a bit of a break on the editing on videos for a little bit. I just kind of had to reset. But what's up, Billy? How you doing, buddy? Let's see here. Welcome to live chat. Remember to card community guidelines. Huh? It's weird. So I'm trying to see what is going on here with. I'm gonna hit a couple of these buttons. So that's not it. Holy cow. Okay, finally I got. I'm so sorry. So I'm not the type to upgrade or update my phone. Like I'll wait forever. And I haven't updated YouTube in a very long time. So now that I did it, now it's acting really weird. But it's saying something about like the ability to add maybe somebody on a live chat. What's up, Climber? Clint? What's going on, buddy? How you doing, Clint? Lost the guy's shaft in the clean. You can't get one for 2 days. Lost the guy's shaft in the clean max. And can't get one for 2 days. What? It's been alright, Billy. I can't complain. Yeah. Just kind of been messing around with a few things. Since I'm gonna be using a new saddle and breaking a new saddle and stuff in, I almost thought maybe I would dumb my climbing setup down and go back to something simple like hitch climber, just regular hitch climber with prusik cord. So that's what I was working with and messing with. I'm thinking about trying the Canute. I'm gonna try it with a wrench and without a wrench, both SRT, to see if like how it holds. I think this one you can actually use without a micro pulley underneath, and it tends. So that is really cool. I always use the VT or the XT, but I really like how clean and like simple that setup is. So I'm gonna try it. It's called the Canute. Where are all these damn flies? It's getting ready to rain. So you know how like right before it rains, all the flies get like really super brave and then want to land on you. I feel like that's what's going on out here right now. And I left my door open. I shouldn't have done that, but stupid fly. Lost the drive shaft? What? Holy smokes. Oh, cool, Clint. Um, Yeah, I just have an Android. I don't have an iPhone. I just have a regular Android phone. And that's what I work with. But yeah, really digging. Like that's one of the topics I was gonna kind of discuss. Is this because the how easy, like you see the gap in between the micro pulley and this, like it tends so nice up and down one handed without the micro pulley. You know, add the micro pulley, it tends even better. But yeah, I think I'm really gonna like it. I've tried the Michigan, which is really similar. Um, Basically almost the same knot, but like to seems to like get in a bit of a bind and it's like hard to release sometimes after being put under a bunch of pressure. This one not so much, so that's the reason I'm gonna give it a shot. But really easy not to tie too. It wasn't. If you know the Michigan, it's basically the same thing except for you switch the ends on which one you keep long and which one you keep short. So dang it, put the camera on the wrong side. First iPhone ever owned, and I actually like it a lot. Yeah, I would imagine the camera quality is going to be. Wow, the lighting right here is really good. I'm gonna have to leave the camera there for lighting for sure. But yeah, such a difference in the way that setup works. But I think that's one of my main issues with. I wish that there was a better setup for the addition of like a rope wrench that would be quicker. You know, the problem, in my opinion, with adding a rope wrench a lot of times is that it requires too much of like adding stuff. So like justify it, like that's why a lot of times I will just solely set up into that setup before I go up, because I know that it's like aggravating to try to hook a wrench up, you know. That's the thing. I don't like the way this works. It could be pretty simple. If I could get that to like hide inside of there and hook up, not so bad. Do you have a different one that would work a little better? No. But yeah, I guess I could hook it. I could hook it wherever. Like I could do down there, but I don't. I would almost need to go to this top one, or I would need to unhook my beaner and hook it back up, which I think is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do all that because you're just trying to get the wrench to be active. So that's the flaw that I see in like the hitch climber setup, is there should be just a quick attachment to be able to put a wrench to it, and there's not. So let me just. Yeah, I don't like that. That's kind of a bummer because the thing is, like, if you're using the wrench, let's say, here, I'll show you what I mean. So if you're using the wrench, switching over to DRT, is there's a very simple solution that you can do that, you know, negates the wrench and puts you right back into DRT. So let's say, you know, I had that set up just like that, and say we were climbing DRT, and now I get to where I'm like, okay, I want to go into SRT. I bring the wrench down, and I would have to rehook up here, which I find to be ridiculous, but whatever. And I don't know, like, if this wrench or this actual beaner is even going to be wide enough to get all that and the wrench in, but we'll see. I hope so. That way I don't have to dig up that orange one. Yeah, it will. Okay. It's going to be tight, though. Good Lord. Okay. So, now if you're hooked up with the wrench, And that puts everything in a weird bind. I don't like that. I don't think I would actually climb on it like that. I would have to switch over to a different wrench tether. But if you're climbing SRT like this, and you end up going into DRT, you can switch over and just take your wrench. So let's say we were going up through here. Okay, and let's say you were anchored there and you were clipped in. Now, if you wanted to go to DRT with this setup, let's say this had, here, I'll just show you, I'll set it up the way I would have it. So I was up in the tree and I was just climbing SRT, and then I wanted to switch over to DRT, like I'm here. I'm like, okay, well, the way I would do it and hook it up, make it kind of simple and keep it somewhat clean, would be I would switch over from there, and I would take my clip here, I would unclip the wrench just to get it kind of out of the way a little bit. And you can either like lay it down. Do I have that on the wrong? I'll show you something here in a second that most people don't realize about the rope wrench, and it'll help you. But now you need to be able to clip this in here to go DRT. So if you clipped in and you were hooked up, see, that's the problem with this wrench setup. But the way you would do it, if you were clipped in, you could take your wrench and you put it on the other end, the anchor end, and clip it in. Now you're moving, and the wrench isn't actually causing any friction on the setup anymore. You know, it's got a lot of friction because of the crotch up there. But with it over here on the backside, now your wrench is out of your way. You're using DRT. Then if you wanted to switch back over, it's really quick to just go throw my lanyard around, pop that off, pop the wrench back on here, and then re-anchor this end to something close to me so I can get it back. And it ends up being a pretty clean, easy setup. And then now you're back in SRT again. But yeah, the ability to take this, get your other end, and take the wrench and put it over to this side makes the wrench so it's not even in the way. It's not really being used. But I like that. When I was just first learning SRT and was using wrenches, that trick helped me a lot to be able to switch back and forth. Because some scenarios I just felt way more comfortable to be in to DRT than to be in SRT. It's just the way it was. So the thing I want to show you, the reason this was too wide, normal cases this wouldn't be too wide. I'll show you on this wrench why, because this is actually meant for a zigzag, and I have a hitch climber set up. I'll show you the difference between the two, because Greg has made me multiple attachments for the wrench, so I'll just use one of these other wrenches to give you the example. Now, this here is the hitch climber setup. This is a hitch climber tether. I have all the tethers, but then they have attachment pieces here. The ears flappers this is for hitch climber, and then this that's on this one already is meant for a zigzag. So let me show you why I say that. And Greg has thought of all this stuff. So you see how wide one is compared to the other. So if I had this one on there, the carabiner would have fit. This is the same carabiner. So if you look, there would have been room for a tether on each side. And then hitch climber goes in the middle there. But when you take that same thing, you put that carabiner on this one, it's pretty full. And then things start getting in a weird bind. But yeah, this one for a hitch climber, not quite wide enough to go over a zigzag. So that's where Greg came up with the idea of this. So he sent me some new ears. Let me show you guys something. I don't know if a lot of people, I've never even heard anybody really speak of it, but there's a little thing on every single rope wrench. Watch this. So let's say this, some people put their pin on the wrong side. Let's just say that. Let me show you this here. So you have a pin. Each rope wrench comes with this piece, and you have a pin. It has one stopper thing on it right there. So let's say we put it in on this side. Oops. Let's say we put it in on this side, all right? That's the wrong side. How would you know? You wouldn't unless you mess with it and see the difference between them. Now, watch this. Here's the trick. Monty, lay down now. So you push it in. It goes to there. Now, you see what's aggravating? Is that 90% of ropes, climb lines, are just perfectly too wide to get in there. They don't fit. And it is aggravating. But they've already thought of this. And they've already fixed this. And they already have this figured out. You just have your pin on the wrong side if it doesn't fit. Watch this. I'll take the pin out now. Monty, go lay down now. Oh, hang on. I meant this side is the wrong side. Let me show you the why. Now, if you look, if it's on the right side, check out what happens. So it opens. It goes to there. Now watch when I turn it. It's going to go in. Turn, turn, turn. Boom. See it go in right there? So I'll show you again. You pull it out. I'll get close to the camera as I can. Alright. So you start turning. And if you turn to the right spot, boom, it goes in just a little more. Now watch, with it in that far, it goes over a rope. And you're not taking your pin all the way off and losing it. So, now, on this side, like I showed you there, you get it, it opens up, and you turn, click, there's a little groove. It pops into, it gives you space to put a rope in. Now, if I had this on the wrong side, it doesn't work. So on that side, so we click it, goes through. You can turn that as many times as you want. There is no groove. Now if you look in there, you see down there at the base, at the very bottom here, there's a little groove in there. This other side doesn't have that. See in there? This one, no groove. Now this one, right there, the big groove on that inside. Wish I could get it to come clearer on the camera, but it won't. There it is. See the dust right there, as I don't clean it. But yeah, so the way the pins work, they go from the right side to the left. And if you do it correctly, oh my god, I just did it wrong again. It goes from the left side to the right. I mean, that way the one with the groove is on the side so you can turn it and click, get that extra half an inch so that you can fit a climb line in there. You cannot fit a climb line in if it's on the other side. So that was just a little trick that I knew of that I meant to bring this up about 50 different times now, and I forget every time I do a live feed, every time I have my gear. So yeah, just wanted to bring it up. Dan, the tree man's here. I'm behind on comments, so if you said something I haven't answered, give me just a second. I'm running through them. I still have an old that's what I have. I have a Samsung uh, Galaxy. No, it's an active, like 7 or something. Like it's not. My phone is old, but it's insanely tough. Like I've dropped it a billion times, and it's as tough as nails. The only way I broke a phone is when I fell 40 foot and smashed it with my body against wood. And then one time I dropped my phone from like the top of a tree and it hit a rock at the base of the tree, and that broke my phone. But yeah, I always buy the same phone over and over because it's supposed to be like the strongest phone that there is. But first iPhone ever owned, VT or the, it starts with a C. It starts with a C. Yo. What up, Ground Pounder? Dan, the last video was killer, dude. That was good stuff. I really like it. I haven't got a chance to see the horn truck, the one. I guess it was a short or something. I seen it come across the top of my phone. I just haven't had a chance to go check it out. Ground Pounder says he's still alive. Going just another day in paradise, hanging with the boys. If you're not an MMA fan, you wouldn't maybe catch it, but that's a little Cody Garbrandt for you. What are we talking about? I don't even know, man. Hitchcord style. Have you guys ever bought a hitchcord and regretted it afterwards? Because I have. I have a brand new Tuffelberger Ocean Beeline, which everybody said is the greatest hitchcord ever. I seen one. It come in its own box. It like had this big ass box that you like, and it was like all laid up in it, all displayed, and looked so cool. And it is like the shortest hitchcord I've ever seen. And I don't even, like, I can barely tie the distal with this thing to get it to even to use. So never been on rope wrench and hitchcord combo. Yeah, it's probably my favorite. The combo, it's just insanely smooth. As long as you find the right knot and press it, then it can be butter. It's just finding the right one with the least amount of setback. And I'm really thinking that the setback on this, like after tending, there's the setback. I'm only seeing a couple inches of setback, as opposed to like the VT or the XT. I definitely was seeing a little more, but so I think that's gonna be nice. That's the Canute. It's really good. I climbed on it forever. It seemed. Slack tinning seems like it'd be nice. Yeah, it's this one. You're supposed to be able to climb it without the micro pulley. So we lose the micro pulley. We just clip in with a beaner, and check this out. So that's just like that little setup right there where it loops over works as like an artificial micro pulley, and it compresses and actually pulls the rest of the knot up. So if you can see there, that little setup works as like an artificial micro pulley, and it compresses the system, and then very easy. But it bites. I mean, it bites hard too. So the only issue I see is some guys don't make enough wraps and they only have 3 up here. You definitely want 4, especially if you're going to start farting around with the no micro pulley or using it SRT. But yeah. But yeah, super regret this. But I was just thinking on my saddle. Now, if something was to be like an issue here, like a device when I hook it on, if it doesn't set correctly, I was thinking I could just take and add my like a prusik onto here, and then I won't be having the slide back and forth kind of thing issue at all. It would keep me like positioned correctly at all times on my prusik and would probably wear less. But I think it, once again, I like a very short bridge, and I think it would set my device too far away from me. But yeah, I was thinking that would be gentle, really gentle for the bridge, and it would give one singular point. It wouldn't be drifting side to side so much and having all that play. But I'll mess with that eventually. Mess with it a little bit tomorrow. I was gonna climb around in the tree here in the backyard, but I gotta figure out a way so if I do the climbs and stuff, I'm able to like call down for you guys and get you guys and take you up with me. And I just gotta figure out some sort of a little tripod that like fixes the phone to it, so that if I'm pulling it up after I set it up and I tie a rope to it and I go to the top of the tree, then I'm gonna pull you guys up so we can talk from the top. I don't want my phone to fall off and then the whole live feed's useless because I'm at the top of the tree and my phone's loose at the bottom. So something I want to work on. The catalyst is the other knot. Oh, okay, yeah. Or the MC, the Matt Cornell, is a really, really nice one too. I think it's probably pretty similar to the catalyst. James, what's going on, brother? What are you on for flip line hitch? Me? I don't use hitch cord for my flip line. I use a rope grab. That's all I use. I have multiple rope grabs. That's just what I do. But yeah, I think that would be a great knot for. But see, the BT is so like this. The fact that it's not symmetrical bugs me a little bit to look at. The VT and the XT, the way that they position and are on there, they're so symmetrical. They align correctly and they look correct. This weird flip and whoop thing down here at the bottom is like bugs me, like it messes with me. But yeah, that's why I like the VT. I think the fact that it's cosmetically it looks so clean is the reason that I was all about it. I don't know. Sometimes I need the appeal so that I'm not fixated on something that looks weird, and I sit here and explain OCD to people. Blends with moving a rope real good. VT. Yeah, VT just so clean looking, and the way it aligns on the rope, I wouldn't see it getting caught on stuff. It doesn't have gaps or anything in the system. So yeah. Anytime I've ever went ahead and used like a prusik cord for my flip line, that's what I use as a VT always. But Greg has skills for sure. Yes, Greg is very good. Or XT. What's up, people? Oh, what's up, Jared? I'm sick as a dog. Just wanted to check. Oh, damn, James. Hey, heal up, brother. Hopefully you get to feeling good. That's a bummer. Guys, wish James a speedy recovery. A lot like Vegas. What's up, bud? Howdy, everyone. What did I miss? Not a bunch. We were just talking about some silly stuff when it comes to like SRT and some little tricks with the rope wrench. So if you're a rope wrench fan or somebody who likes a rope wrench, those little tricks like that are lifesavers when it comes to using the rope wrench. Those are problems that you're gonna run into, and those two little fixes right there, the ability to instantly switch over and be able to use it, DRT and SRT, is very useful. So, yeah. You have to remove the wrench to set up DRT. No, you don't. That's what I was just showing there. Now, if you ground pounder, if I had the wrench on here and I wanted to go DRT, I would take this end, I would bring it over, I would clip on like normal, so I'm DRT, but then I would take my wrench off of this one and I would connect it to this one backwards. So where this is set up like this, sometimes it takes you a while to go. Yeah, if the thing about this pin too, the way it's set up, if you keep turning it, it'll pop off too. So watch, let me show you. Because the way that groove's made, so you don't have to, you can do it one hand and actually take the whole pin off if you want. The way that little crescent thing is out of the bottom is designed so you can pop the pin all the way out. But if you remember and you just turn it a little bit, it won't come out. You can get that little bit of a gap there where it just goes click. But if I was hooked in here and down, okay, and I was climbing SRT on this, I would just take it, disconnect, and I would flip it backwards. See how I did that with the wrench? I would flip the wrench backwards, and I would connect it over here to the other line. So now, in DRT, you have a stationary end that doesn't move, then you have a moving end. So now the wrench isn't on the moving end. It serves no purpose. It's not causing any friction now. So now you're free to move or DRT without the wrench affecting it or messing you up in any way. And then you can easily just take, when you want to go back to DR or SRT, you would just clip it and flick it back over to the other side. So I hope I'm not that far behind on comments, because I feel like that comment could have been from a while back. What's up, brothers and ladies? What's up, Turbo? How you doing, buddy? Can I get oh yeah, Turbo? And it comes with like a 100-page instruction manual. What are we talking about? What did I miss? Dang it. I like 10mm cords. Yeah. Yeah, oh, are we talking about that Prusik? Yeah, it came, yeah. I'm telling you, it was insane. The amount of packaging that went into that is absolutely crazy to me. But, yeah, it's a pretty useless Prusik. It's just too short. So, you can't do enough wraps and stuff with it to make it an effective knot. So, in my opinion, was a waste of money. I like 10mm cords. I think I do too for the most part. 10mm seems to work perfect. Because when you're using a pressing cord, the whole purpose and reason why they work is because they are smaller diameter than the rope that you're actually using. So if you were a guy that wanted to use a smaller climb line, you used an 8mm climb line, let's just say, for the sense of the discussion, if you used an 8mm climb line, or you used a 10mm climb line, you would then need to use a 6 or an 8mm pressing. It would need to be smaller than the climb line you're climbing on. So most of us climb like 11.7, 12mm. So that's why 10mm prussiks usually are perfect and work really good. But yeah. What's up, Squirrely John? How you doing, buddy? Y'all are lame. Is that right, Ground Pounder? Ground Pounders called us all lame. Yeah, I do. I have my GoPro, and I was just thinking about have the. I think I have the. Mine's an 8, but it says I can stream live from it. It has that option and stuff. I just have to do a bunch of BS to get it set up. Um, I was watching a video one day and I just didn't go into it fully. I wish I would have now. But YouTube was saying that I could add people to my live feeds. So, like, partner up. I don't know if someone has a channel, if there's some way that they can somehow. I don't know. I don't know. It gave me that option, like, to leave it open to other people. So, I don't know. Curious now. I have the Rock Grab 90 and don't like it. Really? Yeah, I have two different rock exotica ones. The one is a bit bulkier, but and then I got one that's a little smaller. Like this one's smaller. This is actually pretty nice. It's more compact, I think. It's a little wider here, but made in the USA. This is a CT. I think Climate Technology. Oh no, my bad. This is Climb Right makes this. Pretty good little setup. It's like spring loaded, so yeah, yeah, it works really good. And it gives you all the parameters. It works with 10 millimeter to 12 millimeter rope, 3/8 to half inch. Um, and for people that are just knuckleheads, it's like, yeah, you can't use this. What does it say? Not for self belay use, only on non-metal rope. So if you have a metal, like a steel cord, I don't know if that works, or if maybe it does work if it's cord, but it has actual rope on the outside. So I don't know. But yeah, I've always used rope grabs. I've gotten used to them, so it's just what works for me. Gotta go, folks. See you, Dan. Take care, brother. I just got a rope wrench, but haven't used it yet. So I'm glad you shared the bit about the pin. Yeah. You just have to make sure only one side has that groove. So sometimes your pin will come out and you'll put it in, and maybe you put it the wrong way. If the pin is in the wrong way, you can't get that little click where it pops out and it gives you the space to put the rope in, and you can't be able to twist it and pop it out one hand either. But it'll still work fine. You still have it, but you don't get that little advantage. I have two different wrenches. I have that black one and I have a purple one, and I actually have another one that's lost. I don't even know where it's at, but I thought that they made them different because I thought one had one and the other one didn't, but then I realized I just had the pin on the wrong side for a long time. But I'm pretty sure a lot about Vegas, a lot like Vegas. You'll love the wrench, man. Just give it some time. Try it out. Oh, dog is driving me nuts. Although I was thinking about returning it and getting the new Apex wrench. Um, yeah, I actually have a little pamphlet on that right here. I think. Where did that go? I had one. Did I? I didn't throw that away. I wouldn't have thrown it away. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I have a little thing on that Gap sent me. Is that the one you're talking about? I think it is. Yeah, there it is. The Apex. It's pretty cool. Um, I like it. I like the release button. Um, the way that breaks down is pretty sweet. And it almost looks like it has some kind of weird cam in it now. Yeah, because now it's saying that you can adjust friction levels on it. So I don't know if that's like if that's something that is just you're able to size it for like per rope to see what works per rope. It's what it seems like it's for because it's saying 11 to 13 millimeter. So the way you would adjust for ropes, I wouldn't think that that would work the greatest. Well, it does. They took where on a regular rope wrench you have a micro pulley here. They now put a loaded. They put a cam there, so that cam can be adjusted to cause more or less friction each time. So it dials it in, but that cam will also move forward or backwards, I believe, when you adjust that, and that will, or maybe up or down, that will give more or less friction when this thing engages and put like a sharper bend on it. I would imagine it probably comes up or out to add friction because then it would put a sharper bend in the line to get it to work. But yeah, it definitely looks cool, but I don't know. It's just hard to beat the regular rope wrench. It's just such a great tool. If I had to say what's my favorite tool that I've ever climbed on, it's the rope wrench. There's no comparison. I've got to climb on. I've tried. Um, I've tried in the only one I haven't tried, I think, is the akimbo. I got to try a uni for a minute. I've tried a rope runner. I haven't tried the Rope Runner Pro, so that's one that I can't really say. But Gree, the Hitch Climber, I've climbed on Thought Line, Zigzag, Rope Wrench, and I haven't. I guess there's a couple of them. I haven't tried the Hitchhiker. I haven't tried the Rope Runner Pro, but I mean Rope Runner and Rope Runner Pro, it just looks like a better made product for it to be the Pro. But who am I to say? And the akimbo. But nowadays, I guess there's a lot of other devices out there. Has anybody seen the little device that Notch just came out with? That little weird belay device. Uh, yeah, it's a good day when you can't stand the smell of your home, so that's funny. Yeah, there's the dancing things again. Where do you guys get them emojis? That's funny. So easy to swap back and forth. Yeah, people like that when you flip it backwards, the way that the device is made to engage itself, it doesn't do that anymore. So when I seen that, that's not my idea. That's something I picked up from somebody. I'm pretty good about giving credit where it's due, but I don't remember who was the first one that I seen that from. But more than likely it's probably Kevin Bingham. But yeah, right on, John. Both you guys' daughters' names are Sylvia. What is the odds? I was driving, bro. You all got my undivided attention now. Oh, right on, ground pounder. Yeah, yeah. I didn't have a whole lot planned, if I'm being honest. Like, I needed a reset as far as like creativity. I feel like I could have just knocked a video out. It would have been blah and wouldn't have been that good to watch. It would have been entertainment, but they could be a lot better. I could spend a little time, put a little more effort into them, make them a little better. And I just felt like I was at that point where I was just kind of throwing them out because they don't get the views that I feel like they should. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a waste, but so I needed a break. I needed a break to like reset. So I have one, a very nasty, gnarly one where you guys know me, and if I'm not, like, I'm worried that it's gonna fall apart while I'm climbing it, and I tied into two other trees because they were there, but yeah, and it was in a pretty cool spot, so should be a fun one to watch. Oh my God, am I that far behind? What's up, William? I just now seen your first comment, man. I'm probably so far behind. It's adjustable friction. Has anybody thought about using a Timberline chainsaw sharpening jig? Don't waste your money. Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard some silly stuff. It's been interesting in those as well. Not good, really. Somebody's comments keep getting like held for review, and it won't let me click. So if you leave a comment and it has something sus in it, YouTube won't let me even read it for some reason. Like I keep pushing view message, but it won't let me. I seen Timberline sharpener. I thought it would because I suck at sharpening. Yeah, yeah, I know. I would try that steel device that I was showing you guys with two plastic pieces at the end. That is the best. Like it uses the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. It is the most simple device that you can be completely doofy and have no knowledge in sharpening a saw, and I would sit down and give that device to somebody and say, sharpen this saw. After explaining for a few minutes, and I believe that they could sharpen a saw with that device, it wouldn't be the best, probably, but it would work. So, if you're buying something, I would buy that, man. I'm trying to respect. What's up, Eric? How you doing, buddy? How you been? Haven't seen Eric, I don't think, in a while. Maybe he snuck in a couple times. I just haven't seen a lot from him. How you been, brother? Rope runner, no. That's what. Yeah, yeah. When I seen what you said about it, like that sold me as far as like I was right about it. I'm not the biggest fan, but the rope wrench, love it. We'll always love it. There's just so many options and things that can be done with it. Like, yeah, it's awesome. The thing with it, like, say you get a little drift or something, um, it can be adjusted for any person. So, say you're using your rope wrench and you're getting a little bit of drift where it's starting to seep down and you're slipping a little bit. Either you need more wraps or more crosses so you can play around with different knots to get that to stop, or maybe and if you can't add more wraps or crosses, to where it loops around. If you can't, then maybe you need to buy a longer prusik. But making sure that the prusik size is like at least a couple millimeters smaller than the rope that you're using is going to make a world of difference. The smaller the rope, the bigger the difference between the rope and the prusik in size, the more it's going to grab. If that makes any sense. So if I got a 12 millimeter rope was what we normally use. I use an 11 millimeter prusik on that 12 millimeter rope. It'll work. Not the best. Same way if I was to use, a 12 millimeter prusik on a 12 millimeter rope, it would work. Not going to work the best. It's not going to bite as good. Now you start going down, you get to 10 millimeter on a 12 millimeter rope, it bites good. You get a lot of, and they've realized that's the even ground there to where it's a strong enough, big enough rope that you get good bite. So about a 2 millimeter difference between the two is usually plenty and works really good. So I'd say 1.5 to 2 millimeter difference. As long as you're in that range, your prusik to rope ratio is good. That's something I don't ever hear people really talking about when it comes to climbing. But if you're using prusik cord, there's rules to it. There's reasons why it works. It's not just this magic thing that just like works. You can really dial that stuff in by knowing the details to it. So it's things that I didn't know when I first started, and just as I've went on, I've learned, and it's really helped me out a lot. So Billy getting away? You Billy? I think they updated the Rope Runner Pro. Probably. It's probably the Pro or something now. The Super Pro. You can't. I don't even know what's up with. Notch is probably. Yeah, they already own that. I think they already ripped it off. They're they're weird. The newer ones have CE stamped on them. Oh, really? Really? So they were selling all them devices without the CE stamp? That's wild. So, okay. Time to eat. Clint, go munch down. Guys, I think I'm gonna kind of cut this one. We're at 51 minutes. I think I'm gonna do another live feed this week. I do want to think up a solid topic to talk about. Maybe maybe we'll do it in a different location somewhere. Um, Give me a little time to think about it. I'm open to suggestions, so if there's a topic somebody wants to talk about or something like that, let me know. Um, and I'll set it ahead of time, give you guys a heads up, and then we will do another live feed before our next week's regular live feed. I think we're getting close to like episode 69, which is funny. Cause I think it was like 60 or something, maybe we're at 62 or 3. I can't remember. I gotta go check because I need to write. I never know what to put for these live feeds because I don't know what we're gonna talk about. So then I'll do the live feed, and then I have to go back afterwards and edit and rename it so that it like has a title for what it was. That way it's not. I don't know. And I'm just getting very lazy with my thumbnails, if you've noticed. A lot like Vegas, he is proud of his belly. He shows that sucker. Do you see how it helped him get up the tree? And it kept his saddle from like running up him? It takes a lot of work to get one of them suckers. You better be proud of it. Enjoy the chow, Clint. On my third course, right on. Got a lot of money invested in it. Oh, right on, bro. William probably polished his turtle. Wax off, William. Have a great week. Stay safe, all. You too, Turbo. Hey, thanks for always being here, brother. I appreciate you. What's up, Tree Brothers? Take care. Eric, you were the man. Thanks for stopping by this time. Um, and always the support. And I'm sure you probably catch up on it later on if you don't catch it when it's live. But all you guys that do that stuff, I really appreciate it. Jeffrey, I didn't even see you in the comments. Jeff's always here too. I appreciate you, man. John, you're the man. Ground Pounder is just he's he's that. You ever seen the meme where the pillow flips over and on the other side it's like this really cool guy? But yeah, the Family Guy meme. That's Ground Pounder. He's cooler than the other side of the pillow. Please do. And the Roper Pro, it's a great device for many. The dude I sold it to only uses it for rope walking up and then switches over to the zigzag and DRT. I can see that. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the support always. Thanks for giving me your time. Um, I've been getting these like emails that's like saying that my channel may be being restricted for some silly reason over, and I hope it's not over the name, but Like the name isn't something that I want to like fight over. Um, it's something that I feel like categorized me correctly, but then somehow got twisted into this malicious thing that I'm trying to do. So, and I don't know. I've been thinking about a name change for the channel. I'm sure that it's really stunted the growth. Keeping the name, I could have went with something more friendly and like that doesn't make people think about silly shit. I don't know, but that was never my intention originally. So when it started to happen and people would say that, it just caught me off guard. Then I'm stubborn. I'm like, well, I already named my channel that. I don't think I should have to change because I didn't mean anything by it and this and that. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we just need a whole fresh coat of paint for this whole channel. We'll see. But thanks again. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe. Have a good week. And like I said, I'm gonna do another live feed for you guys this week sometime. And if you have a topic or subject that you'd like it to be on, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Maybe we can do that. Thanks again. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.